In an event that a colleague has been bitten by a snake or somebody has been bitten by a snake, what must be done as a first aid? First, you as the first aider, call for help from your colleagues around. Like as you can see, the doctor is calling for help. Somebody has gotten a snake bite. Then withdraw the patient from the site of the bite to ensure that the snake does not bite the patient again, because it's possible. Some snakes are so stubborn. They can bite again and again and again until the venom is over from them. So withdraw the patient from a possibility of another snake bite. And rest the bitten part very well to ensure that really there is no unnecessary movement in such a way that the poison does not move or the venom does not move to the upper parts of the body. And secondly, make sure that the bitten part is actually lower than the level of the heart. So in such a way, you are seeing a doctor trying to ensure that the limb, the patient, instead of the patient being lying on her back and the limb is being lifted upwards, rather what's going to happen is the patient is lying and the limb is downwards, or the patient is seated upright and the limb is downwards, like the way the doctor is doing it. Patient is seated upright and the limb is downwards to ensure that the movement of blood is being limited upwards. That way, the movement of the venom is being limited. And secondly, remove any jewelry from the site that has been bitten, or loosen any tight clothing and actually remove them if any. In this case, if this patient was actually to be putting on a trouser, and we know the limb can easily swell and the trouser does not move across, you remove the trouser and the patient remains in shorts. Or if at all there was jewelry in the area, remove the jewelry to ensure that the patient does not swell before the jewelry is being removed. And then next, in our villages or in our homestead, some of us have black stones. This is the point in time when you're going to be fixing a black stone to ensure that actually the poison is being sucked out by the black stone. But we know that sometimes you don't have a black stone, but you can have soap and water. When you have soap and water, get your soap and water and clean the wound with the soap and water. It's going to benefit the patient twice. One, it's going to remove the infection that is possibly going to be entering through the site where it has been bitten. Two, it's also going to enable removal of excess poison that has not yet been absorbed into the bloodstream. At this point in time, ensure that you're going to be applying a crepe bandage between the bitten part and another body part that is close to it to ensure that there is limited movement. Note, the idea is to apply a bandage or any piece of cloth to avoid unnecessary movement, which is going to allow absorption of the poison or venom upwards, but it isn't all about stopping blood flow. Why? In the past, we used to say you apply a tourniquet on the bitten part to ensure that the poison does not move, but that has been proven deadly according to research. And lately, they have discovered that so many patients have developed severe complications following a tourniquet application, and actually the tourniquet has cut off blood supply to the affected part, resulting into some people losing their limbs because the tourniquet has stopped blood supply and the area has become ischemic and necrotic. And some of them, the poisons are highly cytotoxic. They are very dangerous to the tissues around the body parts. In such a way, a tourniquet is going to limit movement of the poison, and therefore it's going to worsen the destruction of body tissues. Therefore, what doctor has done is correct here to ensure that it's just only limiting movement, which is going to allow more absorption of venom, but has not focused on limiting blood flow with application of a tourniquet. So avoid tourniquet application, but rather apply only a piece of cloth or bandage to ensure that you are limiting movement. And lastly, we expect you to mobilize for transport of the patient to the nearest health unit. So in this case, you call for transport and they transfer the patient to the nearest health unit.